pay attention to me tonight. I'm so sick of this shit.
She's so mad. No one is giving her any time. Guys are tired of you.
I told my husband I wanted a divorce. I can't be myself with my husband, and it's really confusing because I still don't know who I am.
This woman is so messed up. What is wrong with her? She's selfish, and she's bored, and she wants something else.
When you're 30 years old and you're single and you're like trying to put yourself out there, and your friends are all married, so that you're at least trying to meet new people.
You can see her panic starting. That panic is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. So again, this is what happens to women who wait. How do you think this woman is actually feeling? Let's listen to what she has to say. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back. Did you miss me? There's only one good answer to that, by the way, and sometimes women like to be lied to. That's all I'm going to say. So the answer is yes. Even if you didn't miss me, the answer is, oh, Jed, women don't like to be lied to. Really? Is that true? Really? When your girlfriend says, do I look fat? And let's say the pudge is coming out of the sides. Does she want the truth, or does she want you to say, honey, no, you look gorgeous? I'm just saying, sometimes we like a little lying. Right off the bat, making people mad. Welcome. We're going to dig right in today. We've got some viral stuff. You know how we've been talking about women who don't get picked? Attractive girls who are going out. No one's paying them any attention, and they're starting to get heated about it. Well, this one went viral. Ooh. Coming in hot.
I better pay attention to me tonight. I'm so sick of this.
Oh, my God.
Touch a boob, buy a drink. I mean, it's like very simple.
She's so mad. Okay, why is she mad? Well, because she got all dolled up. See that tight fitted orange dress, right? Did her hair. Went to the nail salon, got a special little mani-pedi, Maybe did a little waxing because she thought she was going to get funky that night, right? And she went out, and no one is giving her any time. Attractive girl. So she's like, what is going on? She goes home, she looks in the mirror. She's like, making sure. She's like, no, I look good, right? Asks her friends, like, is this look? Oh, yeah, you look amazing, which they'll say even if she doesn't look amazing. But, oh, honey, any guy would be just so lucky to have you. I know, right? And like her and all her friends are just like, why? I told you, guys are tired. Guys are tired of you. They're tired of you pretending to want to take them seriously when you really just want the free drinks. They're tired of going up to you and you being like, thanks for the drink, doing this game you do. Tired. They're tired of the takers. They're tired. They don't want to deal with any of that. They're tired of, you meet all of these qualifications, right? You got all the qualifications, and she's talking to you and she's like, oh, but, there's this one thing. He has a boat and it's red, and I don't like the color red. Oh, right? Because they feel like they can be so picky that they've got everything met, but they can just nitpick about everything, right? They're tired of you. You want guys to come up to you, change your attitude, change your strategy, treat them differently, and that's going to have to happen over a long period of time, right? It took decades to get here. Guys finally saying, I am done with you. And social media played a big part because now they go on socials and they see women talking all their crap. So they're like, oh, I know what's going on now behind the scenes. When I walk away after buying you that drink, I know you're making a fool out of me. They're like, I'm done. You're going to make a fool out of me? Honey, now I'm going to make a fool out of you. I'm going to sit at that bar. I'm going to drink my scotch. I'm not buying you nothing. I'm not even looking your way. That's what's going on. Change your attitude. It's going to take a long time for guys to feel like you've changed genuinely, and then you'll see. But for now, especially in the cities, guys are just sitting back with their drink, and they're just letting this drama unfold. It's hilarious. It's like, they're frazzled cats. Frazzled cats. Ooh, very entertaining. All right. This one also went extremely viral on, I think it was TikTok. It is TikTok. Okay. Single girl, 30 years old. Just pay attention to her expression and how do you think this woman is actually feeling? Let's listen to what she has to say.
I know you guys know the feeling, but when you're 30 years old and you're single and you're like trying to put yourself out there, and your friends are all married and they're like, oh, let's go to the D-backs game, and you're like sick, and then you think like it's going to be a night out, and then they're like 7th inning in and they're like, yeah, let's go get some ice cream after this, and I'm like, oh, we have really different vibes of like what the night is going to look like. So then you're like scouring for friends that are potentially out in the same area that you are so that you're at least trying to meet new people, because God knows that when you're with your married friends, you don't really meet a lot of new people, and I love them. Like, I don't blame them. Like, I want to go home and eat cream too. But I texted a friend and I was like, you're out, right? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, can I meet you? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, all right, I'll be waiting. Like, I'm a pathetic loser, but here I am putting my best foot forward, trying to just like do things as a single woman and not like go home and like cry myself to sleep. So we all know the feeling, right? Basically, I'll let you know how the night goes and if it was worth it. I don't know if it's going to be worth it, but we're trying. We're trying.
Okay. 30 years old. Pretty girl, right? Objectively so, I think. Desperate, getting nervous. Why? Because she's going out. 30 is like an interesting age, too, as a woman, because you have those friends that marry young, right? They'll get married at like 25. And now I feel like there's a trend now where people are getting married young again. Like for a while it was late, and now you have some people that are choosing to get married young. Not, a ton, but you have those friends that marry young, and then all of a sudden their lives really change, right? They've got their person, they go out for a little while, then they want to go home and watch a movie, get that ice cream, cuddle, do the you-know-what, all that stuff, the intimate stuff. But you're still kind of young, right? So now you're like, okay, and you're feeling this impulse to like settle down, but it's not happening for you. So you've got one foot in the world where you see your married friends, and then you've got one foot in a world where there's 25-year-olds and 26-year-olds who are younger than you, and you're like being pulled in that direction because there's still a lot of them hanging out at the club doing all this stuff, right? So you're kind of lost. Now, this woman sounds desperate. She sounds nervous. She's not comfortable with where she's at because she knows she's getting a little old for the game. She's getting a little old for the club till 4 a.m. She's getting a little old for that scene. And in 2 or 3 years, 32, 33, 34, how do you think she's going to feel? That you can see her panic starting. That panic is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Think of it like a little light inside of you that just grows, right? It expands, right? And now it's like, oh my God, what is happening? What is going on? And she's pretty, right? And 30 is an age where women still look really, if you take care of yourself, you can still look really young. But, 32, 33, 34, things start to change. And she's now having to reach out to friends. And usually when you hit this age, usually the friends that are out still in the middle of the night doing all this stuff, they're the troublemaker friends, right? They are. You know it when you're like 32, 33 and they're still, the people out drinking till 5 o'clock in the morning or doing it up like they're still in college. Those are the troublemakers. And you're like, well, objectively, I don't want to turn into that. Right. But you're like, that's who's out. So now that's what I'm left with. That's who you wind up spending your time with. It's just all bad news. So again, this is what happens to women who wait. This is what happens. And, oh, well, Jed, maybe she didn't wait. Maybe she's a very pretty girl. I will guarantee you that she was not prioritizing finding a man at 20. I will put my money on it. It just doesn't go like that. Okay. Let's do, that one went viral. People went nuts. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Get in the chat. Get in the comments. Tell me what you think. Do you know women like this? Do you know women who, I want to see in the comments, do you know women who 30 years old and kind of lost? Have you dated women like this? Tell me your experience. All right. Number 3. This is a little long, but I think it's very important to hear what happens inside a woman's mind who wants a divorce for all the wrong reasons. What's wrong with her? Let's find out. Number 3.
I don't know if I'm going to actually post this because this is super vulnerable for me and I'm a pretty open person. But earlier this year, I told my husband I wanted a divorce. And this would probably shock a lot of my friends and my family because I hadn't told anybody, okay? I walked myself through the logistics of where would I live, how would we split the time with the kids, who gets the dog, where all of those things, okay? Had a full breakdown. I feel like I have been searching for something in my relationship that we don't have for the whole time we've been married, which has been 10 years. There is not a single thing about my husband in and of himself that I do not love. Let me be very clear about that. He is the most self-disciplined, loyal, hardworking, good person that you could meet on this planet. And that is probably the reason why I have not left. Okay. our relationship and what my expectations are for my marriage and what they always happen are not met, right? Which I don't know if anybody's are. The reason that pushed me to even bring up divorce and talk about it was the fact that I feel like I can't be myself with my husband. And it's really confusing because I'm 32 years old. I am a mom of 3, and I still don't know who I am. So for me to be like, oh, I can't be myself, or you don't love me for who I am, isn't really fair because I don't know who I am. I'm figuring that out every day. But the reason why I wanted to share this on here in the first place is we are coming up on our 10-year anniversary. We're going to Mexico, to Cabo, for our 10-year anniversary trip. And we're rewriting our vows. We never wrote vows in the first place. We didn't have vows when we got married. And I'm struggling to write my vows, like to write a vow. And I think that's because I still feel very unsure in our relationship.
So again, I'm going to start, there's a lot to unpack here, but any woman who will post this, she's coming up on her 10-year anniversary. They're going to Mexico to celebrate, and she's posting on TikTok that all of this intimate stuff about how she told her husband she wants a divorce, this guy's totally exposed. She laid her whole relationship out for randos to read about. Any woman, this guy should see this and he should say, listen, honey, I know you're not feeling like fulfilled in this situation, but now I'm really starting to feel not fulfilled. Something's really wrong with you. So maybe we need to talk about what to do here. And granted, there's 3 kids involved, so you have to be very careful about how this is handled. Divorce is not something to be taken lightly ever. And it's especially not something to be taken lightly when you have children. But this is completely inexcusable in my book, what she's doing. Now, this woman has 3 children. She's 32 years old. They got a dog. And what is wrong with it? She's selfish, and she's bored, right? And why is she bored? Because everything is going really well. And she wants something else, right? And she's a little effed up in the head. Now, she goes on to say her husband is self-disciplined and loyal. And she goes on even further, an amazing father, the best father ever. And she lists all of these really important traits that you would want to find in a man. Loyal, faithful, amazing father, self-discipline. These are all extremely admirable traits, but it's not enough. It's not enough. And she says, well, why? And then she says, well, I don't really feel like myself when I'm with him. And then goes on to say, well, I don't really know who I am. So maybe it's not his fault. She's lost in space. This woman is so messed up. Guys, why am I playing this for you? The reason that I'm playing this is because some women, you're never going to please them. And you need to be able to spot that woman before you're in deep with 3 kids and a dog. Okay. Some women, you will bring them the world and they will say, well, I know that you brought me all of Earth, but what about Saturn? Saturn looks really cool. What about that? They'll be looking for something else. You could bring them everything and it won't be enough. Because you know what? There was something wrong with this dynamic from the start. I don't know if she's not attracted to him. I don't know if there's no chemistry. This sounds to me like she was never really into this guy, and she went for the guy who was going to provide a certain type of lifestyle that she wanted. And at the end of the day, she was left with the guy, and she's not into him. Make sure she's into you without the stuff, without your money, without your all that stuff doesn't matter at all if she's not into you. This woman is not into him. And she's able to objectively say, oh, he's all of these things. But, I can't be myself. This is a woman, by the way, who will leave this guy. If she ever gets the guts to leave, she will leave this guy and she will go into some guy, say she'll meet some guy who'll romance her, right? And within a year, she'll realize she made a terrible mistake. She'll be miserable. That guy will now be boring to her because she still hasn't found herself, right? She's still lost in space, just with a different guy. Now she's like, well, this guy doesn't get me either. Is it me? Yes, honey, it's you. Yes, it's you. And then she'll be looking for the first guy will be remarried with a normal wife that's healthy of mind, and she'll be just wrecked. So, honey, the grass, and there's a woman who's always, some women are like, the grass is always greener. It's always greener, no matter what's going on, right? And sometimes the more they have that's stable, the beautiful house, the beautiful cars, the more it gives them time to nitpick about some bullshit, right? Oh, well, all this is good and I wake up every day and I don't have to anything really to worry about at all. So let me just pick on the fact that he forgot to buy me flowers once, right? It's that. It's that crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. And I will tell you, this is the never going to please her girl. If you marry the never going to please her girl, you're going to wind up with the never going to please her wife. And then you're going to be up Schitt's Creek. So just try to figure out beforehand, and you'll know, again, if she has to have peak attractiveness to you. If that's not there, that's where this lands. That's where this lands. You have to be enough. I don't know how many times to say it. I'm going to keep saying it. You have to be enough without the stuff. All right. Do you guys like beef jerky? I know you're like, Jed, what are you talking about these meat sticks? I'm telling you, man, it's my favorite snack. That's why I'm trying to get you healthy, right? We talk about battling the system all the time. I want you healthy. I want you optimal. I want your testosterone where it needs to be, guys. Ladies, I want you eating that grass-fed, grass-finished stuff. I care very deeply about health and wellness. This is the snack for you. Lineage Provisions makes meat sticks. They just made flavored ones. I use the classic, the original. 100% regenerative beef, grass-fed, grass-finished, 64 plus grams of protein, air-dried, no chemicals, no toxins, no seed oils, nothing, just pure 100% grass-fed beef. Most jerkies, by the way, are cured or they add a lot of like celery powder stuff that adds nitrates. This has none of that. It's Paul Saladino's company. The taste is amazing. It also has heart and liver in there, so you get your organ meat without tasting your organ meat. Unbelievable. It's air-dried, no chemical processing. This is my number one airplane snack, my number one snack I take on the go, my number one don't have time to cook snack, all of that. Incredible. Jedediah 10 will get you 10% off at lineageprovisions.com. It's going to be linked in the description. They power me throughout so many days. Check it out. Get your discount. I promise you won't. A lot of you all went and bought them. And I got some emails that were like, Jed, Jed knows what's up. Just saying, Jed knows what's up. Don't you love when I talk about myself in third person? Little strange, not going to lie. All right. Oh, this is good. Number 4. Let's do it.
There's actually nothing more humbling than going on Hinge and seeing who liked me. What do you mean? Charles the plumber sent me a rose. It's not even a toy.
Charles the plumber. So she's upset. First of all, the fake tears. Honestly, I can't stand these TikToks. By the way, we got banned on TikTok. We'll tell you about that later. Ooh, fun stuff. I love these women that she immediately sized him up, right? Oh, he's a Charles the plumber. Like upset that Charles the plumber gave her time. You should be, imagine that somebody gave you time. Be like, oh, thank you for taking interest in me. No, not good enough for her. Honey, Charles the plumber might be making like 200 grand. Just so you know. Some of these, like, they think blue collar, and they think they're making no money. Some of these guys run really successful businesses. Plumbers make, every time you got to call a plumber, they come to the house, it's like multiple hundreds of dollars, right? Usually you're in like $1,000 for something. And they're here for like for 4 minutes, right? You're like, every time a plumber leaves my house, I'm like, man, I got to learn how to do that, right? Like I just save so much money. So this idea that like these blue collar industries, construction, plumbing, like there's no money there. It's just so dumb, which I love. I actually love that these women they turn off these men and then these guys say, well, screw you, because they probably do have, a lot of these guys have plenty of cash, especially if they own their own businesses. Not to mention they know how to do stuff. So when you're a plumber and you own a home, you don't have to call somebody else to do all the plumbing and do all the, you wind up saving a ton of money just by not having to outsource that stuff. I find it so disgusting when a woman like degrades a blue collar worker. It's just so vile. It's so unbecoming. Like you just become so unattractive to me. Idea of a what if he had like an Ivy League Harvard degree, but didn't know how to do lick, he would somehow be here. But a plumber who actually learned how to do something, took some initiative, and knows how to fix something in your house, gets shit from you? Why, honey? Princess? Is that why? Someone's a princess? I can't stand it. And the fake tear. I can't do it. Okay. Number 5 is another topic that has gone completely viral. Okay. This is Caitlin Clark. I deserve NBA money. Who's Caitlin Clark? Who the hell knows, right? I looked at this. I'm like, is she a basketball player? Who knows? And Indiana, it turns out. She plays basketball. Who cares? Okay, but she plays basketball. I deserve NBA money. Then let's pull up the other one that we have. This is from NWokeness. The WNBA, and it's they all want NBA money, right? All the shirts. We deserve NBA money. We're underpaid. The WNBA loses $50 million every year and has never generated a profit. You deserve $0. This is what it says. I love it. Okay, so let's talk about this. This sense of entitlement, right? Sense of entitlement. Women in sports. Honey, women are allowed to play sports, right? Great. You do your thing. You can take that down. We don't need to leave it up. You do your thing. You play. Here's the thing about the WNBA. Nobody gives a lick about the WNBA. Nobody goes to the games, right? Is it a business or not? The NBA makes a ton of money. People go to the games. People get excited about the basketball games. Guys go to the games. A ton of money, a ton of profit, right, is made there. The WNBA loses money. They're not only not making money, they're in the red, $50 million a year. Now, why is that? Well, because people don't like to watch women's basketball. I don't know how else to say it. There's not an audience for it. Women generally don't watch basketball at all. Like, we're not the audience for that, right? It's guys, and guys aren't watching women's basketball. And to be honest with you, women who watch sports don't watch women's basketball. They watch men's basketball. It just is, right? We could talk about why. Maybe there's just a lot of these. Well, we'll get to that in a second. If you are running a business and it makes no money, imagine the nerve of those employees to say, well, I deserve a raise. Why do you deserve a raise? Your business is making no money. Where is the money going to come from to pay you? It's not coming from ticket sales. It's not coming in. Nobody gives a lick. You're lucky they don't just delete the WNBA, right? And the only reason the WNBA still exists is because of this PC bullshit. Because honestly, what business that loses $50 million a year would stay open? It makes no sense. The only reason is, oh my God, the death of women's basketball, misogyny. In the meantime, it would just be that it's a business that it's in the red constantly. Someone has to keep this thing afloat with a $50 million loss every year just to make everybody happy that women play professional basketball. Nobody cares. No one cares. It's like working for a company that if you worked, audience, let's put our heads together. If you work for a company and it makes no money, you're going to go into your boss and be like, well, listen, I know that you made no money this year, but I would like, 50 grand more a year. Oh, please. No, it doesn't work like that. The only reason this works and they get paid at all is because it's some PC bullshit. So no, honey, if you want Caitlin looks a little manly. Just saying. You want a raise? Get people to come watch the games. Generate interest. Somehow. I don't think it's going to happen. Funny story. When I was younger, when I was in grade school, I was a cheerleader. I liked the little skirt. I liked the basketball players. I was like, ooh, I'm going to be a cheerleader. I think I was in 8th grade. And we had a boys basketball team. I had a crush on a guy on the team. He was, he was like a starting 5. I was like, ooh, I was a little kid. And we would cheer. And they wanted us to go also, the cheerleaders, to the girls' basketball games. Every single one of us were like, I don't want to do that. Like, none of us wanted to go. And there was a coach at the school who was very PC. It was like, girls, this is not, kind of sounded and looked like a man. This is not how to be. You have to go to both. And we were just like, why? We were only there because we all had crushes on the boys. And we were like, the boy. And everybody was all about the boys basketball. So one time we went to the girls basketball game. Boring. It was boring, right? No one was there. It wasn't exciting. There were no boys, right? This just wasn't interesting to us. So, listen, this is how it is. People don't care about the WNBA. It just is. And it's not just men. Women don't either. If people cared about the WNBA wouldn't be $50 million in the red every year. So you're not getting a raise, honey. You don't get a raise just because you're a woman. Oh, but we're doing the same job as a man. No, you're not, actually. You're not, because those guys are getting people to come see the games. Those guys, there is a demand for those guys. And let me tell you something, Caitlin. If those guys who played in the NBA were playing and no one was going to the games and no ticket sales were happening and they were $50 million in the red, they wouldn't be making those salaries that they make. They would be making your salary. It's not about man versus woman. It's a business. It has to run. Ooh, God, I'm so tired of this nonsense. Can you imagine? This one's going to go viral, I know. People are going to be like, Chad, you don't support women's basketball. No, I don't care about women's basketball. I don't care about basketball at all, to be fair. I'm an equal opportunist, just not into sports. But if I was going to watch a game, I'd probably watch the guys. Just because it's more going, it's lively, it's just different. I don't know. Okay. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. What do you think? Should Caitlin Clark get a raise? Put it in the comments. Let me know what you think. All right. Last clip of the day. Number 6. I don't remember which one this is. Oh, I do know. Oh, God. Okay. You'll know I pick on women a lot, right? Well, I don't pick on women. Let me say that nicely. Well, I do, actually. Let me own it. I do pick on women because they're doing stuff that's effed up. I pick on men too. And here's a perfect example of me taking some beef with a man. Okay. This is the kind of guy you take beef with. Number 6.
Trump has cut my food stamps from $2,800 down to $350. Now, what am I supposed to do? Huh? So I literally just got this piece of mail today saying that due to new policy changes from the Trump administration, all this shit, whatever, that all these cuts and whatever he's doing over there, now they're telling me I have to go work. Now I have to go do all this. Well, I literally got 5 kids. Okay. I'm trying to sit here and spend time with them. I'm not trying to go work, 50, 60 hours a week so I can pay bills. I just really don't understand. I voted for him this last election because I thought what he had good was going on, but now all of a sudden, all this policy stuff's coming out, and now he's making all these cuts, and now he doesn't want to help the less fortunate people no more. I'm done with that guy. I'm not. If he gets voted in again, I'm leaving this country.
Okay, stop it there. I'm leaving this country. Oh, good. Leave, because everybody else is paying for you, honey. Leave. Get out. I'm sorry, but we're paying for your food stamps and everything else. Okay, so what did the text say? Man shows the letter he received saying his EBT food stamps have been cut from $2,800 a month down to $350, and he's upset. Okay, this is a despicable man. Okay, this is the kind of guy, when you talk about toxic, people talk about toxic men, they're thinking about the woke, or it was like, oh, like Andrew Tate is so toxic. No, this is toxic. This is a guy who's looking for a freebie, doesn't want to work, and wants you at home, to go work another job to pay for his food stamps. There's something so unbecoming about a man looking for a handout at this level. Now, he says, I have 5 kids. Well, how did you made those 5 kids? You did it. You got to own it. And now it's your job, not my job, not somebody else working 3 jobs' job, not some other dad or mom out there's job. It's none of their jobs to take care of you and your kids. It's your job to take care of you and your kids. And he's even saying, I got 5 kids. I want to spend time with them. I don't want to work. Well, then you shouldn't have had 5 kids, honey. You shouldn't have had 5 kids if you didn't want to take care of them, right? I'm curious where the mom is in all of this, or moms. Where's mom? I tend to think it's plural, just a guess. And the bottom line is, guys, hear this guy. I mean, most of guys at home, you're watching the show, I'll bet your skin crawled listening to this. Because guys, this is abandoning your responsibility as a man, right? You got 5 kids to take care of. You're mad because somebody cut off your food stamps. Get a job. What are you supposed to do? You got to figure out where those kids go. Do those kids go to daycare? It's not ideal, but that's the predicament you're in. Do those kids go and stay with a family member during the day? Do you have a family member? Do you have what you need to figure? Your job as a man is to figure it out. Okay, I don't know how you got into this situation where you got 5 kids, you got no job, and you're living, based on EBT. But it's your job to dig yourself out, right? Everybody falls on hard times. Okay. Imagine the audacity, though, saying that I got Trump elected and now he wants me to work. I don't want to work. This is the most unbecoming man I have seen in a very long time. Very unbecoming for a man to abandon his responsibilities and act. Because remember, this money doesn't come from nowhere. Okay. This is tax. It comes from your tax dollars. This is your money, right? That gets stolen from you. You're working, say, somebody in the audience, say you're working 2 or 3 jobs. You're doing pretty well for yourself. You're like, you know what? I'm making 6 figures now. Oof, great. You pay taxes, you get your paycheck, and you're like, where'd all my money go? The government. Mommy, daddy government came in and stole it. Why did they steal it? To give it to this guy who's sitting on his behind watching TV all day. That's where it went. So when you get mad at guys, these are the kinds of guys. Somebody should get a hold of this guy and be like, get your shit together, honey. This is disgusting. You put this video out with no shame, too? Oof. This is the most shameful guy I've seen in a long time. It gets me heated because it's nothing worse. It's just something about seeing a guy like this, totally devoid of masculinity, looking for a handout. That's just so pathetic, isn't it? Audience, tell me how you received. I'm curious how the men in my audience, please, in the chat and also in the comments, how did you receive this video? What would you say to this guy? I want to know. All right, that's all we have for today. Thank you. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. You know I love you. I'm going to be back here soon causing more trouble. You heard it here first.